Hello and welcome to one more episode of the Swift Pilot Client tutorial videos. And today we will talk about the mapping tool. The mapping tool is a very powerful program that will help you to create and manage model sets for Swift, because these model sets are required for Swift to render and display aircraft of other pilots in your simulator. Alright, you have two ways to launch the mapping tool. Either here from the Swift launcher you click on this green icon, or you look for the Swift data app in your Windows menu. We start it and we best maximize it. A lot of information and a lot of boxes and tabs and lines, but hold on, it's fine. Sit back and relax. I'll show you how to do that, how to understand it. It's quite easy. So we start on the bottom actually. So the mapping tool consists of the mapping editor. This is where we can modify aircraft. Then we have database data. You have several tabs here on top, and this is basically what Swift has written in its database about all available types of aircraft that exist, and airline codes and distributors. Distributors are the persons or companies that have made aircraft, be it commercial or freeware or whatever. So there's BlueBell, which we know is a CSL set, but as well there is PMDG for the Microsoft Flight Simulator series, or here for X-Plane we have Flight Factor. So everything is there. Liveries is self-explanatory. Basically, liveries are tied to the airline ICAO code. We see it later. Then the next tab here, the next part of the program actually, is the settings and login dialog, and we will start with more detailed explanations here. You see it's divided into 4 blocks. Here on the top left, this is the GUI control. Well, we don't do anything here now. Then we have the Swift database login menu, which can be used, but for this, please have a look in the other tutorial video that is about creating mappings. Then here on the top right, we have the simulator area. That's where you select what simulator you would like to use and what simulator you would like to create a model set for. In case that this path that is shown here in gray is correct, don't touch it, it's all fine. And here you have the chance to actually insert specific directories that Swift is allowed to look for models and aircraft. However, if you leave this empty and you just leave the main simulator path in here, Swift will be allowed to search all subdirectories of your X-Plane simulator, and it will find all aircraft. So be it all your flight factor and laminar research, and as well your BlueBell, X-CSL and whatever models, the flyable and the non-flyable. I prefer it this way because there is a good use case to as well list all your excluded aircraft, because you will see. Whatever change you make before you close this, you have to save it here with this button. Save it. Now here on the bottom right is the box for the distributor preferences. In your case, it's probably empty because the first time you start Swift, there's nothing in there, and you have to go to the bottom here first. Make sure you select X-Plane, and then you select the tab here, the function all for simulator, and this will load all known distributors that have made or are making aircraft or models for X-Plane. And you see there's a long list and everything is there. And now your first task is to put these in an order that you would like them to have. So later on the model set will be filtered according to your preferences. For example, you want to have rather BlueBell aircraft displayed instead of X-CSL aircraft, so you have to put the BlueBell on top of X-CSL. Let's start the following. What I do is I definitely want to have the FlyJSIM 727 model set which is quite nice, on top. So we go here, order, and then to top. And now you see it's in spot number 0. That's the number 1 basically. Counting starts at 0 here. Then I have the DROP distributor. They have made a very nice set of Concorde aircraft, and they would otherwise get replaced by the X-CSL Concordes that are not as nice. So it's just throw all of these aircraft distributors to the top, and the last missing is here BlueBell as well. Let's throw it to the top, and now we can work with these 4 distributors. And in this case I will take the DROP here on top and the FlyJSIM on top of DROP. There we go. So now we have FlyJSIM, DROP over BlueBell and over X-CSL mod. Just a quick explanation. We have X-CSL at the moment and as well X-CSL mod. You can see it's the X-CSL package after the CSL to XSB script has been applied. This is a temporary distributor. It will disappear at some point, but for the time being, when this video was made, it's still there, so we're using it. So same game as before, save it. If you don't save it, you will lose this order. And now we are done on this page, and we can go to the mapping editor. On the mapping editor, we have several tabs. Let's start with this one. The active model set defines all or holds all the aircraft models that Swift has access to display, to render aircraft in your simulator. So if this is empty, Swift will not be able to render any aircraft. And if you just have, for example, one of these 727s, then all aircraft you see will be shown as this Boeing 727-200, regardless whether it's a 737 or a Jumbo or an Airbus 380 or a Cessna 172. Then next tab, stored own models. Actually, this is where the whole journey will start. Stored own models is listing you all the aircraft that you have defined here that Swift is allowed to search for. So in my case, I'm allowing Swift to search my entire X-plane directory. So let's do that quickly. Click here on force reload X-plane and then say OK. And it will take a few seconds to load all the models from my X-plane directory. And there will be a short status window. There are some models that couldn't be read properly, but doesn't matter. Click it away. It's not too bad. And there we go. Here in brackets you can see the number of models that it found, 7,627. And at the moment they're listed here by model name. As well, you can list them here by mode. Mode is either excluded or included. Included in X-plane are all aircraft that have of this Object8 OBJ8 format that can be actually rendered as aircraft, as models. And if you look at these, you know all these Flight Factor and Laminar Research Cessnas and the Zibo 737 and so on. They're all excluded because in X-plane you cannot render these .acf aircraft files. It's just not possible. It's a different story in Prepared and in FSX and FS9. There you can as well render all your full aircraft and not just the simplified models. But here in X-plane it's like this. So either they have this symbol here, included or excluded, an X. So let's start here as well. You see the model name. It's quite easy. That's what it finds. It's showing here what it can read in the respective XSB aircraft file or in the ACF file. Then the next column here is this database column. If you have an icon here, it means that Swift knows about this model. It has all the information, it's happy. And if there is no icon, it means that some information or all information is missing. Basically, information incomplete. And you can only display and render models that have full information, because Swift needs 4 components, 4 things that it has to have: the distributor, who has made this aircraft, this model, then the manufacturer, who has made this aircraft type. For example, it's a Boeing 737-800, or here in this case an Airbus 318, and it needs the livery and the airline code. So if you select a valid airline code, the livery will be filled in automatically. And if you define a general aviation aircraft, a light aircraft, there will be no airline livery, but you are required to insert some kind of livery, white fuselage and white tail or whatever you like. And only when you have this information completed and it has been submitted and accepted will you get this database symbol. Mode we talked already about. Then dist is the distributor. So in this case, these are all X-CSL planes. Let's sort this by distributor. You see here, for all of these, there's no database symbol and there's information missing here from the distributor. Let's scroll down. And there you go. There are entries here. BB stands for BlueBell, for example. And yeah, the next column is here AC. It's the aircraft type, the ICAO code. It's always 4 characters. Then some aircraft have a family as well. For example, all Airbus 318, 19, 20, and 21 belong to the Airbus 320 family. So if I sort it like this, here you see they're all Airbus 320 family, and this is important for our model matching. And then the next, the category we can ignore, livery. Yeah, this is the file that it can access, and this here is the airline ICAO code. As with the aircraft type code as well, the airline code has in this case always 3 letters and is unique. So basically you have a lot of general aviation aircraft here. They have no airline code, and then here you have all the American Airlines, for example. So CG, the center of gravity point, is part of some of our models, and it's not 0 or not null, but it's a little bit higher up, like here 6.2 feet or whatever. And this is a vertical offset correction to make sure that the aircraft is not sinking in the ground when it's displayed. So some planes need an offset, a fixed offset, and that's where you can see it, just for information. And that's it basically. Here as well you can see the full aircraft object path of this aircraft, and as well the description, which model set it's part of. So if it's an AFCF, it's excluded. And that's it. So now, how do we go ahead? First step we did already, we reload the model set. We did it already, so this is done. If you haven't done it, you do it now. When you're finished with this, you go to your active model set. In my case, I got something there already, but I will redo it for you. So whatever you do, you start down here with clear set. Now it's empty. And next to clear set, you have a button saying new set. Click on new set and you get this new window. Let's drag it up here and let's increase the size because there is some more information. First line, simulator, check that you are creating a set for X-plane in our case. Next is the mode. So the mode is either you create a full new set, or incremental means it will keep what is there already in case you want to add more models, and then you just add the difference between what's in your stored own models and what's in the active model set with all the criteria that you set later on. Since we want to build a new one, we go for full. Source set. So we only want to add models that have full database entries, because otherwise Swift will not know what airline code it is or what distributor, where to look for it. It's quite important for the model matching logic. So now the last line, distributors. You have the choice between all distributors, so all from this list here. Actually, I'm wrong. It's all distributors, no matter whether it's explained in this list or not. And all shown below is all from this list, and selected from below is only look for the model sets that are marked that they have been made by these that we can select. So if you hold down your control key, you can select several distributors, and that's what I'm doing. I'm only reading, or I will only be reading these from FlyJSIM, DROP, BlueBell, and the modified X-CSL package. And now it's time to press OK. It will take a few seconds, and then we're gonna have our model set. There you go. So you see on top here, this column here is the distributor number, the order number. And remember, we set FlyJSIM is number 0, DROP number 1, BlueBell number 2. And that's what we're finding here. Here are our two Concords from DROP. These are all the 727s from FlyJSIM. And then we have all the BlueBell aircraft. And in the end, it's all the X-CSL aircraft. If you say, oh, I want to change the order, no problem. Before you do that, go here and save your model set first. That's the most important. If you don't save it, you will lose the information. Let's go down here to settings and login. For example, you say, oh no, actually I prefer to have the X-CSL mod in place of the BlueBell. So let's do that. And now save it. And when you save it, these preferences will be already applied to these here. And if we order it again here with this column, there you go, FlyJSIM, DROP, and then we have all the X-CSL models, and all the BlueBell will be here in the end as number 3 in the order. Okay, again, save it. And now the last step, we can do some filtering, because you see we have now 7,023 models in the set, which is quite a lot, and there are quite a few duplicates. For example, we can have a look for them. If you go here to the list and you press Ctrl and F like Foxtrot, you open the filter menu. And for example, enter here the airline code, let's say Lufthansa, DLH, and aircraft, let's say Airbus 320, and we press OK. And you see we have a number of Airbus 320 models with the Lufthansa paint scheme. And all of them except for one are from the X-CSL set. So what you can do now is, if you prefer BlueBell models, you can say, okay, remove all the X-CSL of the same type and same livery. And we will do that now as demonstration. So first we have to again clear the filter. So I press again Ctrl F to open the filter menu, and then you have to press here, click here on this X to clear and remove the filter. There we go. And to filter, or to remove the duplicates rather, you go to anywhere in this list and you click your right mouse buttons and you go to Model Set and you go to Reduce Models, Remove Duplicates. Now you get this window. Before you do anything, you have to choose here what distributor you prefer. So let's say we prefer the BlueBell. We want to remove duplicates from X-CSL of the same airline and the same aircraft type. So let's insert BlueBell. There we go. It's inserted. You can't insert anything that doesn't exist. It will not do anything. And for example, if I enter the F like this, I can get FlyJSIM. And but we use BlueBell. So reduction mode. Exactly same livery and aircraft, or just same airline and aircraft, but we use the exactly same match. And then you go run, and while running it, it's scanning all the 1921 BlueBell models that are part of this list and compares them to the rest and says, okay, you can remove 2030 models from X-CSL because they are duplicates compared to the BlueBell set. And if I now click OK, well, you can have a look for them. These are all the models that will be removed. And if you see some that you don't want to have removed, you can just select them and remove them from the list. Actually, you have to press, it can't be done by the menu. You have to press the delete key on your keyboard and they're gone. So they will not be removed from the list. And then you press OK and they're gone. Again, save your list. Otherwise, you lose the changes. And if we do the same thing again, you should again see the duplicates that we just chose to not remove. So it's again searching all or comparing all BlueBell models with the X-Plane models. Oh, they're here. They're not there. Anyways, they're gone. So X-Plane saved, and that's it. And basically you are now good to go flying. If by any chance in this operation of removing duplicates, you as well inadvertently remove planes that you still want to have as part of the model set, it's no problem. Just go to your stored own models and search for them. Control F and say, oh, let's have a look. I didn't want to remove the other Concords, aircraft type Concorde, and there you go. And just select the X-CSL Concords, and then you go right mouse button, model set, and add to own model set. And they should be here now. Let's have a look. Control F to open the filter, Concorde, and we are all here. We're all done. But in case that you don't want to have them, remove them. And then again, don't forget to clear and remove the filter with this X and save your model set. And the same here. And with this, you are done. In case that you have had the Swift GUI running in the meantime, you will have to restart it or reload the database from inside, and then it will do the matching correctly. So enjoy the flights, and I hope that everything will be rendered correctly and nicely for you. And if you need help and support, please talk to us on our Discord server. Then see you there or online at WhatsApp.